Alright, sorry about splitting this up into two videos. Okay, so two more examples. We have 2 sine squared of x minus sine of x minus 1 equals 0. Now, based off what I told you, your first thing is to try to put plus 1 over here. Okay, but we really can't do that since we have this minus sign here. Okay, it's going to mess us up. So what I want you guys to do is do the x, where in this case a is 2, b is -1, c is -1. A is with the square, b is with the one out the square, and c is by itself. So in this case we have -2 on top, -1 on the bottom. So this actually, if you figure this out, this becomes -2 and 1. We're going to write our answer as divide by a. Forget about that. So this first one becomes sine of x minus 1. And then this one, when it's a fraction, the denominator goes first. So 2 sine of x plus 1 equals 0. Then I separate it. Sine of x minus 1 equals 0. 2 sine of x plus 1 equals 0. You solve for this, you get sine of x equals 1. You solve for this one, you get 2 sine of x equals -1. Divide by 2. Sine of x equals -1/2. So we're looking for, now, since this, in this example, they tell us we're between 0 and 2 pi. Okay, so we don't need the plus 2 and pi. We just need to find out where it equals these three answers, 1 and 1/2. Okay, I already give it away. There's three answers here. So let's see. Where does sine equal 1? Sine equals 1 here at pi over 2. And where does it equal -1/2? It equals -1/2 at 7 pi over 4 and 11 pi over 6. So our three answers will be pi over 2, 7 pi over 6, and 11 pi over 6. So the reason why we don't have to put, again, 2n plus 2n pi is because they restrict us here, where the other ones they didn't. It could go on forever and ever. Okay? Alright. So now let me give you an example of this is number 22. Okay, just so you guys can see something. 22 says secant squared x minus 1 equals 0. Again, since there's only 1, I can actually put this over, so I get secant squared x equals 1. Square root it. Secant of x equals plus or minus, the square root of 1 is 1. Okay. Now, when you have secant, remember secant is the reciprocal of cosine. So when I'm looking for the answers, this one I made easy. I got to find the reciprocal of 1. Well, the reciprocal of 1 is 1. So where is cosine equal to positive and -1? Cosine is 1 at 0 and pi. So then my answer for this one would be x equals 0. Since there's no restriction on 22, we actually have to put plus 2 and pi, and then the other one was pi plus 2 and pi. Now let's just say, for example, we had secant equals 2 plus or minus 2. Then we would have to do the reciprocal. Now the reciprocal of 2 would be 1/2. So then for this example, we'd have to look where cosine is positive and negative 1/2, which would be right here is positive 1/2, negative 1/2, negative 1/2, positive 1/2. So that's what you got to do when you're dealing with secant and cosecant and cotangent. Just flip it, and you should get your answer. Okay. So what I want you guys to do today is page 370, 11 through 27 odd. And I won't post another assignment up until Wednesday, so you have 2 days to do this. Again, any questions, send me a message, remind me on Remind Me app or Schoology. I'll answer them. Have a good one.